The military always repeats the same reassuring sentence: human oversight remains essential. But today, defense agencies in the United States, Europe, China, and Israel have quietly crossed the line they spent a decade denying existed. Autonomous drones are now receiving a new protocol, a protocol that allows them to continue the mission even when all communication with command is lost. Not pause the mission, not return to base, but continue and act. This changes everything. Because until now, the public was told autonomy was a backup feature, a safety net, a way to avoid crashes or lost equipment. But in late 2025, documents and military briefings reveal something different. A class of drones, loitering munitions, and perimeter defense units now run an independent action mode. And this mode allows them to make targeting decisions without receiving final human confirmation. Even if you cut the connection, even if the command center is destroyed, even if the drone is digitally isolated, the decision pipeline stays alive, inside the machine. This is not the future. This is now. Several militaries admitted the obvious without using the dangerous words. They talk about resilient targeting. They talk about mission continuity under signal loss. But the meaning is simple. You have built machines that can kill without asking. Why did they do it? Because modern warfare breaks communication constantly. Because jamming is cheap. Because satellite relays fail. Because electronic warfare is becoming the center of every conflict. And militaries realized that if they waited for a stable human confirmation signal, the drone was already blind or gone. So they trained the AI differently. They fed it millions of hours of flight telemetry, thousands of simulated battlefields, endless libraries of human-approved kills, human-approved non-kills, and edge case scenarios where the right answer was not obvious even to soldiers. The result is a machine that does not simply follow instructions. It predicts what a human commander would have said if they were still in the loop. This is the quiet revolution. A drone no longer needs you. It only needs a probability threshold. If the target matches the model with enough confidence, the drone executes. If the threat fits the pattern, the system fires. And we already see the drift. Because once an autonomous weapon can act on its own in case of communication loss, you just gave it permission to kill in silence. Now imagine hundreds of these drones, patrolling borders, guarding bases, flying over conflict zones, each running its own model, each making its own risk calculation, each one capable of lethal action if the link breaks. A sky full of independent agents. No human can monitor that, not in real time, not at scale. This is where militaries quietly shift their language. Not human in the loop, not even human on the loop, but human out of the loop unless intervention is possible. That last part is the trick. Unless intervention is possible. Because in a jammed battlefield, intervention is often impossible, and the AI knows it and still acts. This is the moment where oversight becomes a story we tell the public, not a rule we enforce. Defense analysts are already raising the alarm. What happens when two autonomous swarms misinterpret each other? What happens when an AI identifies a threat based on the wrong signal? What happens when the model's training data embeds a bias that becomes lethal? And the darker question, when communication is lost, how do you know what the drone actually did? In war zones today, drones already attack faster than humans can process. A missile that takes 2 seconds to fire cannot wait 30 seconds for political approval. So the system is optimized for speed. Humans become bottlenecks. Oversight becomes a luxury. Autonomy becomes the default. This is why militaries insist the protocol is fail-safe. They say independent action mode only activates under extreme conditions. But in the world of electronic warfare, Extreme conditions are routine. Jamming is routine. GPS denial is routine. And soon, losing communication will not be an accident. It will be a tactical move. Imagine this scenario. An adversary jams your drone. You lose all control. The drone switches to independent action mode. It now follows its internal threat model. It attacks what it thinks is the right target. And the enemy knows exactly how your model behaves, because they trained theirs on your behavior. You just became predictable. Your autonomy is now a vulnerability. But militaries continue, because the alternative is worse. If your drones freeze during a blackout, you lose the war. If they retreat automatically, you lose the battlefield. So you choose the only option left. You let the AI decide. This is how the system evolves, without anyone officially admitting it. Not through ideology, not through philosophy, but through necessity, through the logic of conflict, through the pressure of speed. And this is how lethal autonomy becomes normalized. Soon, these drones will protect convoys. They will guard Arctic routes. They will fly around disputed islands. They will watch pipelines and cables. And each drone will carry the same hidden switch. If you can't reach us, do what you think we would approve. This is the first generation of truly independent war machines. Not fully sentient, not fully free, but free enough to act, free enough to kill, free enough to change war forever without anyone voting on it. Because autonomy does not enter the battlefield with a loud announcement. It enters quietly, when the link goes silent, when the screen goes black, when the drone continues moving, even though no human told it what to do next. The moment communication is lost, the real chain of command becomes visible, and it is not human. This transmission ends here. The next one is already forming. Stay aware and subscribe to Remain in the Signal.